did not mean to do that. Hi guys, welcome to Fun Fridays with Danny and Shani. I'm Shani and Danny is not here. I'm really sorry. You guys, as soon as the summer is over, I guarantee that things will slow down again and that Danny will be able to film with me more often. But he keeps getting these last minute jobs and he has to take them, and so he's not here to film a Fun Friday, dumb arguments with me, and I'm really sorry. I know a lot of you guys really miss those, but I promise we'll get back into the swing of things when we can. Yeah, so today for Fun Friday, instead I thought I'd do a story time video for you because I have a really funny story for you. It's like scary turned funny turned I learned a really good valuable lesson, and so let's get right into the story, shall we? So once upon a time in the land of Huntington, Utah, which is a place in Utah, duh. And it's a city in Utah, but it's also a place that we used to go camping every single year with my family. In fact, we used to go camping with my now step family, but back then they were not my family. Let me explain it. Okay, I'm going to explain my family to you really quickly. Okay, so every year, these are the three families that we would go camping with because we were all like best friends, okay? So we've got the Clydes, which are my now step family, but they weren't back then. They were just our friends. And then we've got the McConnells. And then we've got us, which was Hassens. Have I ever told you that that's my maiden name? Have I ever told you that before? Yeah, my maiden name is Hassan, not Hanson, Hasson, not Hanson. I got called Sharon Hanson my entire childhood, but no, that's not my name. And the camera is moving. Stay where you are, please. No. Stay. Stay. Fine, I'll just crouch down. Okay, so we have these three families and we were just the closest of families all the time. We lived in the same neighborhood. We would do everything together. And so it was these three families that would go camping every year. So the McConnells, we don't see very often anymore, but when we do, it feels like old times and it's super wonderful. But the Clydes are now my step family because what happened is Rob, my stepdad, his wife passed away, and then my parents got divorced, and then my mom married Rob, and so Liz and Julie, who you saw Liz and Julie in yesterday's vlog yesterday, so that's why we're so close. We're stepsisters now, but we grew up being friends. So so when we got married, Liz and Julie and I became friends, and then they also became friends with my family too. And then we've got oh my gosh, I did not mean to do that. Oh my gosh, I'm horrible. My mom is gonna be freaked out. Okay, let's leave that part out. Anyway, that is why Liz and Julie are such good friends with me, is because we grew up together. So anyway, our parents got married and that's the story of our family. But anyway, these are the three families that I'm talking about, and let's get on with the rest of the story. So anyway, those three families would go to Huntington every year. We had the same spot. It was this huge, gorgeous, so much to do there, and so it's just so perfect. It's like the perfect camping spot, and I'm so sad because it burned down apparently. I mean, the ground is still there obviously, but the camp itself kind of burned down. Like, it had everything. It had a huge fire pit, so we could all fit with all three big families with all their kids and everything. It had like 3 or 4 picnic tables that we would eat dinner on, and we would also like do a lot of crafts and play games, and We would like paint rocks all the time. That was a big thing that we did, because right next to our campsite was the river, and there were tons of like beautiful bigger rocks, and so we would go and find rocks and we would paint them every year. Like, it was a tradition. I wish I still had those rocks. There was a huge tree, and so we built a swing, and the swing stayed there every year that we came. It was still there. There were some outhouses, which was lovely. They smelled like crap, but at least it wasn't a latrine. At least we were like covered and had some sort of, I don't know, hole to go in. And then the campground itself was huge, and so we could fit all of our big, huge family tents, because there were a lot of people that would go every year. So it just was the perfect place, and the river was so pretty, and it was right next to us, and we would go ride down, like we would get in our swimsuits and go and ride down the river, because the river right by our campsite, that part, had like a slide in the river made out of rocks and moss and stuff that we would slide down. We would go fishing, we would go hiking. We were literally set so close in between. It was like our camp spot, some rocks, the river, the bathrooms, and then the mountain right there. Like, we had everything perfectly set right there. So we would also go hiking up the mountain, and it's just the best place in the world, and I miss doing that so much. That was my favorite tradition as a kid. So, but anyway, one year I was about, I think 9 or 10 years old, I want to say. And I really loved to go and like explore by myself. Who didn't? Well, maybe not a lot of people did, but I did. I love to build fires, and I'm a pyro. Have I told you that either? There's a lot about me you might not know. I love playing with fire, but that's not what this story is about. Dang it. But man, I love playing with fire. The smell of fireworks after they're done, and like the little thing that's still hot that held the fireworks, go and smell that. It is the best smell on the planet. And it's like, okay. So anyway, I decided to go exploring by myself one day. I did that a lot. I always wanted to be alone. So I took my walking stick, because let's be real, we all had those as children. It made us feel more cool. So I grabbed my walking stick that was walking stick, thank you, that was a stick, literally just like a twig. But anyway, I felt really cool using it. So I'm hiking around, looking around, exploring, and I come up to this like bushy tree, not bushy, just this beautiful little area that I'd never been before. And I'm walking around, and all of a sudden I hear, okay, I can't do the noise, but I hear a rattlesnake. And I'm like, I'm gonna die today. So I freeze, and I held completely still, and I'm like holding my thing, and I just freeze because I can't find it. So I'm trying to look for it without moving, and finally I see that it is like, I kid you not, probably 2 feet away from my foot, right there. And I'm like, I'm gonna be murdered today. This is great. Okay, so I'm sitting there holding the stick, holding as still as I can. I start crying because, by the way, back then, I was deathly afraid of snakes. I was so scared of them, like even more so than spiders. And it was bad for me, like really, really a big fear of mine. And so I'm sitting there like crying, trying not to move my face. All I can do is cry and blink and try and hope that, I don't have to move or anything. So I'm just holding still, and the rattlesnake is right there. And I just like close my eyes, and I'm like, Heavenly Father, dude, in my heart, of course, I couldn't say it out loud or he would murder me. But in my heart, I'm like, Heavenly Father, I'm about to be murdered. Can you please step in here and do something so that I don't die today, because I'm really young and I don't want to die, and please, it's like a little prayer that a little 9-year-old would say. And so all of a sudden the snake starts to move, and I'm like, and I'm seriously, tears are rolling down my cheeks. I am terrified. I'm like shaking like crazy. I'm terrified. So I look down, and it kind of starts like slithering a little bit more, and it's like coming a little bit closer, and I'm like, that's exactly how I was like inside, not outside. And all of a sudden it starts to like raise its little head a little bit, like it's gonna move up, and I am like, I am about to die. And it's like, that's what it looked like exactly. And so just as it like started to raise its head, this is crazy, I know, but all of a sudden, to my left, I hear moo, 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 like a moo. I can't moo either. I can't do animal sounds, but I hear a moo, a big moo, and I look over without moving, and literally 5 feet away from me, there's a cow. A cow. Up in the mountains, I mean, in order to get there, you have to drive through several unsafe roads that are like right on cliffs. Like, I don't know what the crap a cow was doing up there. Cows do not go up the mountain. Cows stay in where they can do in the pasture placeness, and they don't come up in the mountains. Like, someone had to have taken it up there. And even if it did walk up there, why is it up there? And why is there only one cow? I have never in my life seen a cow that far up the mountain. Like, we were so high up in the mountain. It was just so weird. And so I'm sitting there still frozen, and the snake is right there. And the snake kind of like starts to back off a little bit when the cow mooed. And so I'm sitting there in between a snake and a cow, and I'm like praying to myself, dude, do it again, do it again, do it again. And so he did it again. Yeah, that's closer. Anyway, so right when he did that, the snake like shriveled up and ran away, walked away. What do you call that? Slithered away out of my life forever. And I just remember being like, thank you, Mr. Cow. You just saved my life. I really appreciate that. Like, it just was the weirdest experience. Like, what the crap was a cow doing out in the middle of nowhere? It was just so weird. And so, like, I seriously literally thanked the cow. And I was like, thank you. And he turns around and he walks away. And I'm left there and I'm still frozen out of like shock, I guess. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, first of all, a cow just saved my life. That doesn't happen normally. That's very strange. Second of all, it got me thinking, and it made me realize, you know what? That snake was so terrified of that cow that it got right up and slithered away. Just like when I saw the snake, I was so terrified that it was going to kill me. And so the moral of the story is, I now really, really love snakes, because ever since that happened, it showed me that snakes can be vulnerable too. And I never thought about that before. I always thought about, because here's the thing, realistically, that snake could have killed me and that cow. He could have poisoned that cow very easily just by biting him. And the cow, it's not like it's fast enough to like catch it and kill it in time before it bites it. But for some reason, the snake was still scared and ran away. Just like it probably wouldn't have bitten me had I held still till it went away. But I was still terrified out of my mind that it would have. Like, we all have our fears, and even the deadliest poisonous snakes out there have their fears too. And I don't know, I just had this newfound love and respect for the snakes of the world, because you know what? They're people too. They're not people, but they have brains and hearts too. And they get scared too. And they're not as scary as we think they are. Now, if you're in the Amazon and you come across an anaconda, yeah, you might want to be a little bit scared. And even a rattlesnake, you should be scared. But as far as being scared of all of the other snakes that I was scared of growing up, it just went away, and I started loving snakes. And now I love snakes. I'm obsessed with snakes. Like, I love snakes. I mean, of course, I'd still be scared if I saw a rattlesnake or something that I knew was poisonous, but like little garden snakes and even the huge boa constrictor, the big boa things that people let you hold all the time, like at the zoo or like at a kid's birthday party or whatever, wherever it is that you hold them when they're trained. Like, I love that. I love snakes. I love touching them. I think they're fascinating. I don't get how they move. Like, I love how they move. It's just so fascinating to me. So the moral of the story is, you never know what a little bit of faith in a cow can do for you. And also, you never know that snakes have feelings and get scared too. And I love that cow, wherever it is, Mr. Cow. I hope that you found your family, and I hope that you found some food and water, because there really wasn't much up the mountain, and I really hope you were able to find some. And to the snake out there, if you're watching, I'm sorry that I doubted you so much. Now, you might have murdered me. Let's be real. You probably would have bit me had I moved because you're built to do that. However, I realize now that you have a heart and you have a brain and you have a family to go back to and you have feelings, and I love you now. And so thank you for making me love you and all the snakes in the world. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to hear any other stories from me, especially like, it'd be good for you guys to request specific stories because I don't know how much longer Danny's going to be this busy, so I might be doing another one next Friday. I'm not sure. So tell me what genre, I guess, that you would want of a storytime video. Tell me if you want like a funny one or a sappy one or like a scary one or like a traumatic one or a dramatic one or like a stupid one. I don't know. Tell me what you want to hear, see, things, and I will do it for you. So let me know because I have a lot of good stories. Okay, so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, please. I post videos every Tuesday through Friday. So remember, forever and always, you are beautiful, you are worth it, and I am too. Thank you for watching. Bye!